Breaking news, there's a new train pass in town. Sort of. To be truthful, it's really not new at all. Just a new name and a handful of other changes. But if you're planning to explore Lucerne and central Switzerland, here's everything you need to know. The train pass we're talking about is the Lucerne Travel Pass. It's available for travel dates starting from April 1st, 2026, and can be purchased in advance as early as November 1st, 2025. Now, the reason this isn't really new is because it used to be known as the Tel Pass. In fact, if you're watching this video before April 1st, 2026, the Tel Pass is still available for purchase. And if you'd like to know the details about that product while it's still available, be sure to check out our blog post linked in the description below. But as of April 1st, 2026, there is no more Tel Pass. It's now the Lucerne Travel Pass. And all of the info we're sharing from here on out pertains to the Lucerne Travel Pass.
So what are the basics? The Lucerne Travel Pass is available for 3, 4, 5, or 10 consecutive days. There are no differences between the summer and winter seasons, so it's the same pass year round. And for a fixed rate of just 30 francs, you can add on a pass for kids ages 6 to 15 or for dogs for the same number of days as your pass. Now, you might not even need one of those kids' passes. The Swiss Family Card, which you can request for free when you buy the Swiss Travel Pass or the Half Fare Card, allows your kids to travel with you at no additional cost. Now, there's also the Junior Card or the Children's Co-Travel Card, but those two are beyond the scope of this video.
The Lucerne Travel Pass is perfect for trips to Lucerne and central Switzerland because the validity area is huge and the route coverage is unbeatable, stretching as far as Zug or Bar in the direction of Zurich, Göschenen or Andermatt to the south toward Ticino, and Interlaken to the west. In fact, you'll have a really hard time finding any transportation within the validity area that isn't fully covered by the Lucerne Travel Pass. Mount Pilatus by gondola, cable car, or the world's steepest cogwheel train. Mount Rigi, using any of the 9 forms of mountain transportation to get there. Mount Titlis, including the Ice Flyer chairlift to the Glacier Park. The Stanzerhorn, including the rooftop ride on the Cabrio Cableway. Stoss Village on the world's steepest funicular railway, as well as the chairlifts to and from the Stoss Ridge Hike. And the Hammerschwand lift, which is the highest outdoor elevator in Europe. By the way, if you have our Lucerne Day Trips Guide, then you know that this train pass covers all the transportation in those 5 itineraries too. Literally all of them. And seriously, it still covers so much more, including dozens of tiny farmers' cable cars known as Buirebahnli in the local dialect, the Lucerne Interlaken Express between, Lucerne and Interlaken, the Brienz Rothornbahn, which is one of the best steam train rides in the entire country, and trains, buses, and boats all throughout central Switzerland. We're going to suggest who we think will get the most out of this pass in a moment. But first, here are some other benefits worth mentioning.
In the past, there have often been these summer promotions where you can bundle a package of accommodations and train passes at a discounted rate, or even buy one, get one free train passes if you stay at a certain accommodation in the region and things like that. Now, we don't know if they're going to continue these promotions, but it's at least worth looking at because they could be super beneficial for your trip.
So let's talk about who this pass will most appeal to, and then discuss a few tips for buying and using the pass. The Lucerne Travel Pass is perfect for those of you visiting Lucerne and central Switzerland who value convenience or simplicity. If you have our Lucerne Day Trips Guide, then you know that the average cost of full price tickets for each of the daily itineraries is 125 Swiss francs. So a quick look at the pricing options for this pass shows that you could realize some pretty substantial cost savings if those mountain destinations are on your list. Now, an important factor to mention is you cannot get any kind of discount on this pass with the Swiss Travel Pass or Half Fare Card. So if you already plan to buy one of those and cost savings is what you value most, then you'll need to do the math to determine whether or not it makes sense to buy this pass as well. especially considering that the Swiss Travel Pass would fully cover your journey to Mount Rigi, the Stanzerhorn, and Stoss Village, just to give a few examples. And if you'll be traveling to multiple destinations throughout Switzerland, be sure to watch our ultimate guide to Swiss train passes and download the free checklist after watching this video. It removes all the guesswork by giving you our custom recommendation for your trip itinerary. But the average daily cost of the Lucerne Travel Pass drops from 80 francs for 3 days to less than half of that for 10 days. So I want to encourage more of you to buy the Lucerne Travel Pass, settle into this region for longer than you might otherwise be planning, and explore beyond the highlights. In our experience, there are plenty of villages and lakes and mountains and trails within this huge region to keep you busy for far longer than the maximum 10-day length of this pass.
Now, some of you might be wondering, why not just use the Lucerne visitor card? Real quick, to bring you up to speed, the Lucerne visitor card is given to overnight guests in registered accommodations throughout the city and some nearby villages. And it has two main benefits: discounted local attractions and free local transportation. But local is the key word here. It only covers Zone 10 of the city network, which wouldn't apply to the destinations and excursions we've mentioned in this video. So it's important to consider your travel plans. If you're just going to be in the city of Luzern, then you won't need the Lucerne Travel Pass. The Luzern guest card will be all that you need to get you around town by bus or by train. And if you have more questions, be sure to check out our deep dive into Swiss guest cards after this video. But the Lucerne Travel Pass is a great option if you want to explore beyond the city of Luzern. In fact, it could be a really cool way to stay in different places throughout the region for a more diverse experience. Consider staying in Schwyz or Brunnen for your adventures east of Luzern. In fact, Brunnen is one of the towns we considered moving to in Switzerland, so it has a very special place in our hearts. Or how about Engelberg for areas to the south? It's just a great, quieter valley to spend 2 or 3 days exploring, especially for families. Or, because this pass covers a piece of the Berner Oberland, you could even think about Brienz or Meiringen as a home base farther west.
But let's touch on some tips for where to buy this pass and how to use it. You can purchase the Lucerne Travel Pass at train stations throughout central Switzerland or buy it online. We prefer the online version since we don't have to worry about losing a digital pass. And if you want an easy way to support our work, buying through our link will give us a small commission at no extra cost to you. You'll receive an email containing a PDF version of your pass. And we like to save screenshots of this PDF to our phone, marking it as a favorite so it's just easier to find. For trains, buses, boats, and some forms of mountain transportation, you simply hop on board and then show your pass when requested by an attendant. Sometimes there's a turnstile to board mountain transportation, and you simply scan your pass to enter. Other times, for example, like for the Brienz Rothornbahn, you'll actually need to visit the ticket counter to get a scannable ticket. Don't worry, you won't need to pay for this ticket. It's simply so you can scan yourself through the turnstile. And while it can be a little frustrating, honestly, to have to do this, the other conveniences far outweigh this minor inconvenience. So, armed with your newfound knowledge of the Lucerne Travel Pass, why not watch these videos next about Swiss guest cards and our ultimate guide to Swiss train passes to continue on your path to traveling Switzerland with confidence. And we'll see you in Switzerland.